In a small town in Nigeria, there lived three young men who grew up together as friends. Their names were Obinna, Charles, and Nelson. From childhood, they walked the same path, played on the same dusty football field, and even shared food from the same pot. To everyone in the village, they were seen as brothers, but deep inside their hearts, they were not the same. Obinna was a kind-hearted man, soft in spirit, humble in his ways, and always ready to help anyone in need. If an old woman carried a heavy load from the market, Obinna would drop everything and help her. If a child cried of hunger, he would share the little bread in his hand. People in the town loved him because his kindness was pure. But Charles and Nelson were different. They had dark hearts, greedy minds, and selfish desires. From a young age, they always sought quick wealth. They envied the rich men who drove flashy cars and built mighty houses in the city. While Obinna was content with farming and selling his yams in the market, Charles and Nelson wanted more, and they were willing to do anything to get it. One evening, as the sun was setting behind the palm trees, and the air carried the smell of roasted corn, Charles whispered to Nelson, "My brother, this life is short. Look around, others are building houses, buying cars, and marrying fine wives. Yet we are still struggling like children. I have heard of a way to get money fast. There is a ritual we can do, but we need someone close to us." Someone innocent. Nelson's eyes grew wide. "Tell me more." Charles leaned closer, his voice low. "The native doctor in the next village told me that if we sacrifice a pure soul, the gods will bless us with riches. Who else fits that more than Obinna? He is too kind, too trusting. He will not suspect us." Nelson smiled wickedly. "You are right. Let us use him. We will trick him. He will follow us without question." And so the two wicked friends agreed. They began to plan carefully, hiding their true intentions behind false smiles. The next day, they went to Obinna's hut. Charles said with a warm voice, "Brother, you know we love you. We have found a way to make all of us rich. There is a man in the next town who helps people succeed in business. Let us travel together. With his blessing, our lives will change." Obinna, innocent and trusting, looked at them with joy. "Ah, my brothers. If there is a way for us to rise together, I will gladly follow you." He smiled with the light of sincerity, not knowing the trap set before him. On the journey, they passed through thick forests, narrow paths, and lonely riversides. Obinna carried most of the load, while the two pretended to be tired. At night, they sat around the fire, and Obinna shared stories of hope. But Charles and Nelson only thought of the riches that awaited them after his death. Finally, they arrived at the shrine of the wicked native doctor. The air there was heavy, the trees twisted, and the ground smelled of blood. The doctor came out, his face painted red, his staff covered in charms. He looked at Obinna and smiled strangely. "Ah, so this is the one. Pure heart, clean spirit." Obinna was confused. "What do you mean?" But before he could ask further, Charles and Nelson grabbed him roughly. Obinna's heart broke. "My brothers, why are you doing this?" They did not answer. They forced him before the native doctor. Ready for the ritual, tears rolled down Obinna's eyes, not because of fear, but because his own friends, the ones he trusted as brothers, had betrayed him. He lifted his head to heaven and prayed silently. "O God of mercy, I have done no wrong. Save me from their hands." Just as the native doctor lifted his knife to strike, thunder roared in the sky though no rain had fallen. A blinding light filled the shrine. The charms on the walls began to fall, burning into ashes. The native doctor screamed, covering his eyes. Charles and Nelson trembled. Then a strong wind blew, and the voice of God thundered in the air, "Obinna is mine. You cannot touch him. He is innocent. But you, Charles and Nelson, your own evil will fall upon your heads." Immediately, the ground beneath them shook. The knife in the doctor's hand turned into a snake and bit him. He fell and never rose again. Charles and Nelson ran, but their legs grew weak, and they collapsed, screaming in pain. The same charms they trusted turned against them. Obinna, untouched, walked out of the shrine, guided by the light of heaven. He returned to his village safely. When people saw him, they marveled, for they thought he had traveled for business. But Obinna told them the full story. The elders shook their heads and said, "This is why we must be careful of the company we keep. Wicked friends are more dangerous than enemies." From that day, Obinna lived a long life. God blessed him with peace, children, and wealth, not wealth from evil, but wealth from hard work and favor. As for Charles and Nelson, their names were remembered with shame, as a warning to others who sought to harm the innocent for selfish gain. Moral of the story: kindness may be tested, but God never abandons the pure in heart.